So I'm just going to make a demonstration here of drawing smooth, consistent lines. So I see in a lot of beginning drawing students lines that are very short and kind of hatchy or hairy, or just inconsistent, like, you know, right? Maybe I could exaggerate that even more. So what I'm looking for is lines that are, unless the form really looks like this, lines that are more consistent and smooth and not short unless lines in the form really are short. So this happens a lot because of how people hold their pencil. If you hold your pencil too close to the tip, you will be making shorter lines. You just will have a really hard time making longer lines. Hold your pencil, the further you hold your pencil back, the easier it will be to make longer, consistent, lighter lines. And so yeah, you want to hold your pencil at least a third of the way back so that you are able to do that. And so yeah, you want to try to make your lines, if you can, when you submit your work, as consistent as possible, because I will deduct for lines that are like this. I want to see nice, smooth, singular lines. When people work, they often will sketch at first, and this is fine, but you want to do this as lightly as you can because you want to be able to erase it with your kneaded eraser easily. So you want to be able to start by drawing very lightly, and of course you're going to have multiple lines. Like when I draw a circle, there's a couple lines there, right? But you want to draw nice and light, and then you can, kind of figure out what the line should look like, and you can retrace your line to make it more consistent, right? So you can retrace your line, and then you can take your kneaded eraser and even lighten up, erase anything you don't want, or even lighten up the whole thing and retrace the whole thing to get it more consistent. But you want to practice drawing smoother, consistent lines, not hairy, shorter lines. So you can also, if you have trouble with curves and you're making circles, rotate your page around so that you can make smoother lines. So what else? So yeah, we've got smoothing our lines. So you might have trouble. I've seen this where people can't erase lines, of course. This happens to everyone. And let's say I am drawing something and I have for some reason a line outside here because I wasn't sure about it. And then I try to erase with my kneaded eraser and I can't erase that line. I go back in with my white vinyl and I can't erase that line completely. What do you do? Well, this happens to everybody, of course. At this point, you can't really do much of anything if you can't erase it. So what I highly suggest you do is that you draw initially as light as you can. Hold your hand far back. You can brace it on your page if you have to. Get yourself a white glove like the ones I use, and so you don't smudge. And or you can brace your hand under your other hand if you want to try that one. And just try to draw longer, lighter lines, nice light lines. When you initially start sketching or drawing, keep it as light as you can because then you can erase it if it is not right, Even just with a kneaded eraser. And once you're sure about your drawing, then you can go in and get a nice solid darker line. So those are just some things. So keep your lines consistent, which means not irregular unless the shape really looks like this, and smoother, longer lines. And if you haven't watched the How to Hold Your Pencil video, it might be a good idea because that can help with line irregularity like this. Thank you.